Star Trek revisits the Kelvin timeline with a surprising character's comeback. For over a decade, Star Trek's Kelvin timeline, the alternate cinematic reality launched by J.J. Abrams' 2009 Star Trek reboot, has lived in a state of suspended animation. While fans debated its merits and its potential, the franchise quietly shifted its focus to streaming-era juggernauts like Discovery, Picard, and Strange New Worlds. Yet, just when it seemed the Kelvin universe had been left to drift aimlessly through space, Star Trek has done the unexpected. It's revisiting that alternate reality with the shocking return of a character no one saw coming, one that may change the future of the Kelvin universe altogether. That character? Benjamin Sisko. Yes, that's Sisko, the emissary of the Prophets, the war-hardened commander of Deep Space Nine, and the central figure of one of Star Trek's most complex series. Only this time, he's appearing in a version of reality where Deep Space Nine never even happened, at least not the way we remember it. In a bold, creative move, the Kelvin timeline is expanding beyond the original Enterprise crew, and Sisko's entrance suggests that everything, from the Dominion War to the Prophets themselves, could be radically reimagined. A temporal ripple or a celestial assignment? The surprise reveal comes in a special event episode slated for an upcoming streaming anthology series, tentatively titled Star Trek: Alternate Realities. Designed to explore lesser-seen corners of the multiverse, the show's first installment will reportedly delve into the Kelvin timeline's future beyond the events of Star Trek Beyond 2016. In this timeline, the Federation faces a new existential crisis, not from the Klingon or Romulans, but from strange subspace rifts opening across the galaxy. These rifts echo with chronoton radiation and emit signals in ancient Byron script. When Starfleet turns to quantum scientists and historians for insight, a startling revelation occurs. A man claiming to be Benjamin Sisko emerges from one of the rifts. He's older, battle-worn, and cryptically aware that this version of the universe is not his own. He speaks of prophets and visions, yet even in this altered reality, where DS9 was never built and the Byron wormhole was never discovered, the name Sisko carries an uncanny resonance. This twist opens up thrilling speculative possibilities. Is this the same Sisko from the Prime timeline, now existing outside time and space after his disappearance in the Deep Space Nine finale, What You Leave Behind? Or is he a unique, alternate version shaped by different historical events in the Kelvin reality? The answer may lie somewhere in between, which is exactly the kind of mind-bending ambiguity Star Trek thrives on. Why Sisko, and why now? The choice to bring back Sisko, especially in a timeline that has so far ignored the story, speaks volumes about Star Trek's evolving creative direction. It suggests a renewed willingness to embrace deep-cut lore and fan-favorite characters from across the franchise's rich history. And let's be honest, among longtime fans, Sisko has always been a criminally underutilized legend. Unlike Picard's reflective diplomacy or Kirk's adventurous bravado, Sisko's arc was defined by moral ambiguity, spiritual growth, and the burden of command during wartime. His story, which was left tantalizingly open-ended in DS9's finale, is tailor-made for a multiversal expansion, especially one that's not bound by the constraints of traditional continuity. Furthermore, the Kelvin timeline has always danced around the edge of chaos and reinvention. It offers a chance to tell new stories with familiar faces, but with unexpected twists. Bringing Sisko into the mix opens the door to retell events like the Dominion War, the Maquis Rebellion, or the rise of Section 31 from a wildly different angle. A new purpose for the Kelvin universe. For years, the Kelvin films seemed adrift. While Star Trek 2009 and Into Darkness 2013 introduced thrilling energy and sleek visuals, critics argued that they lacked the philosophical heart of Trek. Star Trek Beyond began to course correct, but the momentum stalled afterward. Now, by weaving in a character as narratively rich as Sisko, the Kelvin timeline might finally find its own voice, one not simply retelling old stories with new faces, but boldly venturing into untapped narrative territory. This move also raises an exciting possibility. Could the Kelvin timeline evolve into a serialized saga of its own, rather than a film-only universe? Could Sisko serve as the bridge between timelines, a kind of multiversal emissary guiding different Starfleet crews toward a shared future? The role?